Okay, guys, thanks for clicking on the video. Lot to cover. How to Get Away with Murder, Season 1, Episode 10. I'm going to jump in because we got a whole lot to cover here. You know, when we finished last week, Annalise was on the phone with her mother. She told her mother, I need you. So as soon as we open up, her mom come in, let herself in. They're asking her, who are you? She's giving, really? Does it matter who I am, honey? Do you always leave your door open, honey? For people to just walk in off the street? Is that what you all do? And she gave them the blues, honey, and they were saying something to her. And she said, you people don't know nothing about VIP, huh? So it's Bonnie and, what is old boy's name? Drew. And she's like, they're like VIP. She's like, yeah, your boss came out of my V and also out of her daddy's P. I'm Anna's mother. And they were like, oh. She comes in. They get through all that. She goes up to the room with Annalise. Annalise laying in the bed, baby. She go in there, breaks it down. I said, and it's Cecily Tyson. Miss Cecily then went in there and let Annalise have it. She said, so, here I am. Here you go. You done married that white man that I told you not to marry in the first place. Okay? Did all that. You done shaded and carried on and done married him. Now he done cheated on you with a young white girl. And then he goes and he kills her because he done left a bun up in her nasty oven. Then your boyfriend goes and kills him. Now you laying up here, you ain't got no boyfriend, you ain't got no husband, and you laying up in this bed like the Queen of Sheba. You get on up out of that bed, honey. I got it all together. You get on up out of that bed. And Annalise was just like looking at her, and she's like, this is a mess, you know. And then that approach wasn't working. So Cicely, you know, she came and she basically saw what state her daughter really was in, and she really fucked up. And she basically went and consoled her. I love Cicely Tyson, man. I do. I just love her. She could play that role. Whatever that role is, she's going to mother you, but she's not going to let you off the hook. She's going to read your ass for filthy dust. And that's exactly what she did. So, like I said, we got a lot to go through. Basically, for the whole episode, Annalise is really, like, all messed up mentally. She's in the bed. They got Nate. They done took Nate. That's where we opened the show. I said, child, this is not even supposed, we ain't even supposed to be looking at this like this, honey. But they got Nate. They're interrogating him and getting him all together to put his orange jumpsuit on, baby, and stripped down. And I'm like, shit, they done stripped him down. I said, well, what was we supposed to be doing here again? Child, it sidetracked me and got me off subject. I said, God damn, Nate. Woo, Lord. Anyway, but they did all the spraying and making him cough and all that shit. And I said, okay. Anyway, so he's in jail. Michaela is feeling some kind of way, really, about the fact that Nate's in jail. These other fools was running around celebrating and carrying on. But Michaela's feeling some kind of way about it. We have a new case that comes in. Yeah, I'm going to go through the case. Let's just do the case, and then I'll go back to, because everything else in the program really had to do with the dynamics of Annalise and her mother's relationship, and I'm going to go through that really in detail with you guys. Let's go through this case we have. We have this case. There's a woman. Her name is JoLynn Samuels. She's a nurse. She is accused of raping a male client. He's a patient. His name is Chad Manning. Fine, okay? And JoLynn is ugly as a motherfucker, okay? She's plain Jane, and that ain't all. That's the beginning. She's fucking ugly. But this Chad Manning, he's fine. He really is, like, literally, he's like a model type. She supposedly raped him. So, that's basically what's going on with the case. They get into court. Barney's handling everything. Now, you know, Barney's a fuck up, okay, from way back. She really is. First thing she ends up doing, they're presenting their arguments for the beginning of the case. This stupid-ass Barney, she's sitting there, and her whole thing of presenting to the jury, this fool says, she presents everything, and then she says, and with that, I think that you should find my client guilty as charged. And then she's like, I misspoke. I'm not guilty. So right away, you're starting off the case at, a disadvantage, because for you to make that mistake means you have some questions about the innocence of your client for you to even make that mistake. She's an ass. But anyway, so I'm laughing because Connor says, she's no Annalise, is she? Not by a fucking long shot, okay? So there were like 2 or 3 scenes we had. Bonnie's doing shit, just ain't working out. She's just falling flat. At a point, she yells at the students because she's like, stop questioning me and do your job. You all never questioned Annalise. Well, but you're not Annalise. You're a clown. And everybody knows it. Anyway, but she ends up doing all that. We get into court, find out that Jolene done lied. She really did rape the man or whatever. Had sex with him. She really did have sex. I'm going to say she raped him. She's had sex with him. And she posted it on some site online, bragging, talking about, she had sex with the finest man she had ever met, and this, that, and the other, and he's one of my pets. She basically admitted to everything on some social media site. Just stupid. Anyway, so she kept telling him, don't give up on me, this, that, thing, and the other. She's trying to explain why she lied a little bit and all that. When they get all the way through it, she ends up having Connor's boyfriend, the little Asian guy, pull up some information for her, and then she goes into court and she switched everything around, real Annalise style. But she was about to crack because Drew told her go up there and talk to Annalise, so she tell you what you need to do. She's like, no. It came to her at the last minute. They found out earlier on that the guy Chad was gay. She tried to present that. She thought that was her big thing. She tried to present that. They threw it out and said that was really discriminatory and threw it out. So then this time she ended up coming back. She had pulled it. She had got right where she needed. He's gay. Not only is he gay, him and the lawyer from the hospital are lovers. They have a joint bank account. This was all a ploy to try to have them settle, and he's going to pay $500,000 for damages. And the two of them were going to split and all this. But Bonnie busted wide open, so that was cool. That was a very interesting case. And that's basically what went on with the case. So that was interesting in itself. Now let's go ahead and talk about that motherfucker Rebecca. Because Rebecca they wanted to question Rebecca because they saw in her phone, or on records with Nate's phone, that he had spoken to Rebecca. Okay? You all remember that. Way back before Christmas. Excuse me, whenever Nate actually spoke with Rebecca and they had some little dealings and she was telling about planting something in the house and all this here. Anyway, she went right on down there and turned on Nate. She threw Nate right up underneath the bus. She did. She threw him under the bus. In the meantime, in between time, Laurel and Wes have actually found Rudy. Rudy is in an institution. He OD'd and then had a nervous breakdown as well. He's in an institution. They go out to the institution to see him. They lie their way to get in. And this boy's just in a fucked up state. He really is. He's not talking, this, that, thing, and the other. And all he was saying, Wes showed him a picture of Rebecca, and he kept saying wet. So what they're thinking is that Rudy and Rebecca are the ones that killed Lila. And some kind of way that's in cahoots. And in the midst of all that going on, goddamn dumbass Wes still has his tracker on his phone. And you see Rebecca done tracked his phone because he kept putting her off because he's thinking that she's lying to him. She didn't trust. She see that he's out at the hospital, at the institution. She was able to pull it up. So that's just left open for next week. Next week, remember, is a 2-hour finale. So A mess. But that Rebecca done lied, and it's going to be very interesting to see just how much she lied. But I never trust her from the beginning. Okay, let's talk about... All that's going to be a mess. Okay, let's talk about once Annalise got herself together and came on back to court. She showed up for Nate's hearing. She goes and they have her. She goes in. She gets in to question Nate. She has some plan. Okay, because Michaela was actually at the hearing, at his indictment, I think is what it was. But she came in. Annalise told her, get out. You leave here now before anybody sees you. This is my job to clear up. And you have to let me, trust me, let me clear this up. So she then it showed Annalise going to see Nate. And she's talking. And there's a camera in the room. And she's saying, why did you do this? You did this. What you did this calling yourself protecting me because you were in love with me? Or was it you're so upset that you can't, you can't deal with another man having me? And she's saying all these things. And I'm saying, she's kind of talking in these circles. And Nate's like, what the fuck is she doing? And then I think he got it. Annalise has some kind of plan, but we're going to have to see next week what exactly it is. But she's working the way she works. She's working cryptic and talking in circles, baby. And he went to say something about the ring or some other shit. And she's just talking cryptic and talking in these circles. And I'm like, Annalise, I ain't even going to worry about it no more. Because she got some shit for their ass to get Nate up out of there. And I'm just going to leave it right there. I'm going to leave it there. Y'all can speculate. Put it down in them comments. Tell me what you thinking. But I'm not even going to worry myself with that no more. Because y'all know how Annalise do. You know how Shonda Rhimes writes. I'm not going to worry myself all week with this. It's going to be fine. Nate's ass going to get out, and Annalise going to get his ass out of there. Okay? So we're going to leave that right there and write it down in the comments what y'all are thinking. Now, let's talk about Annalise and her mama. Okay? Which, of course, you know I love because it was Cicely Tyson that she played the hell out of it. Annalise's real name is Anna Mae. Okay? Her name ain't no goddamn Annalise. Her name is Anna Mae. They had a whole little thing about that. She said, oh, so you get a new rich house and a new rich life, and you change your name to some rich name. Annalise. Your name is Anna Mae. And there's nothing wrong with Anna Mae. Her mother was letting her have it. She let her have it a lot about, Annalise grew up poor. See, a lot of these things I was thinking, and I just haven't thrown them out since the beginning. She grew up poor. And she wanted to be something different than what she was. So she, did all that. Her and her mother, I ain't never been here. She's never been to Annalise's house. She did not approve of her husband. Okay? Wes had came up at one point to see Annalise and was talking to her. The mother came up there and put him out of the room. And she said, look at you. Ain't been that long. You got some little young thing up here seeing you. Some little man. This, that, thing, and the other. And she's like, Mama, that's one of my students. She said, uh-huh. Somebody's always a student, and somebody's always a teacher. That's how sex works best. I said, yes, Miss Cicely. Yes, Miss Cicely. Here. Because there's always this little tension. It's a weird kind of tension between Wes and Annalise. Like, I think she cares for him as a son, but I think if he put that dick on her, she'll take it. Always that little weird thing about them too. Okay, so as we go on, Annalise finally gets out that bed, and now she's getting drunk. And now she wants to talk to her mother and get some shit up and out from back in the day. We come to find out Annalise was raped by her uncle. She was molested by her uncle Clyde. And she tells her mother, because she kept making little references to like her mother didn't protect her in life, this, that, and the other, and she kept talking shit about Sam and all that. And you don't need to go to no shrink to get your head clear about things that happen. And she said, like I said, men are always takers. Men always take things. That's what they do. And there's no need to make a fuss. Men always take things. Well, that's when you found out Annalise's mama had been raped. She got raped by somebody from the church when she was a young girl. Her aunt got raped. by her first grade teacher, and Annalise was raped by her Uncle Clyde. So they go through all that. Annalise gets mad that she finds out her mother knew and she's hurt. And she literally told her mother, he may not have been what you thought he should have been, but he knew exactly what was wrong with me. When I came in, I sat down, he seen straight through it, he seen me. And he told me that why I am the way I am is because you didn't protect me. You didn't, you ignored it and you knew. You knew and you didn't take matters into your hands. You didn't do anything. And that's why I am all fucked up today. So that was that. And she told her mother, I don't need you. I thought I needed you. I don't need you. Go home. So that later on that night, her mother told her, I'm leaving. I'm leaving tomorrow. And they go in. She goes to the room, honey, and they go do the old black thing, baby. She told her, let me go and let me comb through your hair, baby. She gets on the bed, and I said, oh, they're taking me back, honey. Taking me back. And I'm telling you, it was ridiculous. But they go down. She sits there on the end of the bed. And they had me real emotional earlier in the program when her mother came in, when she told her off and then she consoled her. I was about to do the water face thing. But I was like, no, not today. Not today. So she sits down. She gets to talking to her baby. She's combing through her head, scratching her head. You know how we do. Part your hair, scratch. She's doing that thing. And she's telling her all about how the uncle came to stay with them. How he needed just a place for a little while. How he used to get drunk all the time and smoke and had the house smell like smoke, was getting on her damn nerves. But how he smoked. And he always falls asleep with this cigarette hanging out of his mouth. And she would go get the cigarette, throw it, put it out and all of that. And she said, she seen him come out the room and she knew what he had done to her daughter. So a little bit after that, he was laying on the couch one of them days, honey, with the cigarette hanging out of his mouth. She took Annalise and her brother out of the bed. She took them over to the aunt's house and they slept there that night. And that night, the motherfucking house burned to the ground with the uncle in the house with the cigarette hanging out of his mouth. So no, I didn't ignore you, baby. I took care of it. That's what she told her. Sometimes all you have is a long stem match. Baby, the tears went to falling. I was done. But it's just sad how many years you've been mad with your mother, and that's what she told her. She said, if you did something bad to that man, I don't have any judgment, baby. God is the only judge. And if you did it, it was because you had some reason that you did it. And mama understands. Baby, I was done. Done. You know I'm a waterhead. I was done. But that part of the show, this right here, has been the best thing of the whole season for me. The best thing, because it really told you who Annalise was and how she got to be that way. So that's it, guys. I'm going to cut off right here. Thumbs up, thumbs down. You guys know how that works. Next week, 2 hours is the finale for the season. I can't wait. I'm not going to worry myself with some of these things we can't figure out because it's all going to come together next week. Sean ain't going to leave us hanging. So just chill out, guys, and I'll see you guys next Thursday, okay? All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.